Okay. Have you ever heard someone say, maybe you've even said it yourself, "Where were you when I needed you?" Well, I've said it, and I've heard it numerous times, and I am so excited because today's guest on Mom to Mom Mentoring is one of those people that you're going to say, "Where have you been all of my life?" You are going to absolutely love the platform that she has created for moms like you who are busy trying to do all the things and feel like you're failing at everything. It is a platform that's going to transform your ability to parent with clarity and platform that will help you through those sleepless infant stages, the potty training, and beyond. Here on Mom to Mom Mentoring, it is one of my desires that you find the support, you find the empathy, and you find the resources you need to help you live, lead, and love with passion and purpose.
I lost my adopted mother. Losing her helped me to understand we're really just guides here to nurture these
Mm.
beings. Being adopted has a whole other psychology to the whole process of nurture and nature. It really helped me give clarity to just that notion of so many times we mix up the order of putting our kids ahead of God, of putting our kids ahead of our husbands or our partners, and putting our kids at the head. But that's not how it was designed. We've got to learn to take care of ourselves, to take care of our own psychology, to get the order correct. We're here to guide them to their limitless potential. But if it's not in order, we're stifling that potential.
Okay, so grab all of those hats that you wear, tuck them away, grab that lukewarm cup of coffee, or just go pop it in the microwave and warm it back up as you sit with Michelle and I, because you are going to be inspired to believe that it is possible for you to live your best life as a busy mom, navigating and managing all the different roles that you play. I have the immense privilege of introducing you to Michelle Brown. And man, her story is incredible. It started with humble beginnings in an orphanage in India of Mother Teresa's. Fast forward, Michelle and her husband are now serial entrepreneurs and a mom of three amazing human beings. Of course, she's a business owner, and now she's an author as well. Michelle has a passionate heart that beats strong for you, mom, and a fire that will help you live with more joy and less guilt. Michelle, your early life, the beginnings of your existence, happened in India in Mother Teresa's orphanage. You were small, malnourished. That's pretty intense. I would love to hear a bit of your journey and learn from you how those very humble, simple beginnings fed into the story of who you are now as a mountain moving mama that I get to sit with today.
Oh, it's such an honor to be with you. Thank you for what you do and your important voice bringing and connecting mothers. It's one of the most beautiful things that we can do. And you're absolutely right. Being adopted is one of the most humbling experiences of my life. And I think that in one paradigm, you could say I was unwanted and I was unloved and I could be a victim for the rest of my life. But I chose a very different paradigm to live through. And that's waking up each day knowing I'm the luckiest girl on the planet
Mm.
and that I'd been chosen to not only been safe and kept in an orphanage that was caring for me and helping nourish me, just all the incredible plans that Jesus had for my life. And Jeremiah 29:11 is my verse, and it's never left me. And I will never forget just all the little steps of my aunt being an airline stewardess that would take the babies back and forth across the ocean. And I got moved up from baby 11 to baby 7 to get the family that I got today. And my parents are superheroes. They are the hardest working, the most philanthropic, the most caring, the most kind human beings that adopted me after they'd already had two amazing biological children and adopted me at 42 and brought me into their home and gave me food and gave me love and gave me space and gave me an education and most of all, gave me unconditional belonging
Mm.
and helped me to develop this immovable character and sense of self that I was made just as I was for an extreme purpose on this planet to do good. And that's really how being adopted and being in an orphanage, I just chose to be a light. And not only being in one of Mother Teresa's orphanages from just knowing that shaped your life early on because you just know you have a hero that somehow had a connection to you, but also knowing that we're put on this earth to pay it forward. And so I do a lot of work for foster kids. I would love to do more for adopted children. I became a doula in hopes that I could help more moms that are facing giving up a baby like me so that I can support them. And that's one of the goals that I have in my life, and just making sure that every single one of those steps that was put in my life to bring me to this place, that I in turn pay that forward for the rest of my life, which is why I created ihelpmoms.com.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So if she's not already your hero, just wait till you
I'm no
hear
hero.
her.
I'm Mother Teresa, but I'm here to continue the light.
Yeah, but you say that. I've heard you say that you were rescued for a reason.
Mhm.
And you have just shared the confidence that you walk in. There's a surety in everything that you say that is contagious, that I can feel the effects of it through the technology. You truly are paying it forward every day of your life. I'd love to pivot now from those beautiful beginnings to how those experiences shape the work you're doing today to serve moms.
Yes, well, thank you for that opening to talk about ihelpmoms.com, which is my fourth baby. And it really occurred, I'm going to be completely vulnerable here, is that I did all the birth classes and I had the best doulas and I had the best midwives and I had the best support and I had all the classes and I'd read all the books, the Carps, the Shushes, the Tracys. Like I had read everything. And I'm a really prepared person. And having a baby hit me like a Mack truck, and I am an go-getter. I'm a super positive person. As you can tell, I was a cheerleader my whole life. Like I love cheering people on. I love bringing light and energy into the world. And when I had my first daughter, it was not only a really difficult birth, um, it really was lonely. My family's 3,000 miles away, so I didn't have a village here. And my recovery was much, much harder. And I felt so much comparison on myself that I wasn't bouncing back and my body wasn't just coming, and my baby wouldn't breastfeed for the life of me. I could not get her to latch, and she was hungry every 2 hours for 14 months. I didn't sleep. And I listened to all the mommy groups. I went to the mommy groups. I ate the cookies, drank the tea, prayed. I mean, I did everything. And the fact of the matter is that I needed personalized help. I didn't need other moms that were struggling to give me advice. I didn't need Facebook people to tell me what cookie to buy. It was serious issues, not only mentally, but physically. And that's really what led me to develop I Help Moms. And when I could finally walk, and I was struggling with postpartum depression, awful. I didn't want to see my baby. My marriage was tanking. And there was really nothing that anyone could do because I had to do this on my own. And I will never forget the day my husband said, "Michelle, I love you. I have been with you every step of the way." I'll cry thinking about it because I don't know how our marriage made it through having that baby. Um, and he said, "I can't make you happy. You have to figure out what you need to do to make yourself happy." And I went on a journey and I found incredible certified pediatric lactation consultants. Not that there's anything wrong with people trying to give you advice, but I'm not made the way you are made. So by listening to everyone's advice, I actually set myself back a lot because it wasn't a supply issue. Like I actually needed a certified pediatric tongue and lip tie specialist and lactation consultant to help me. And with sleep, I love people who are like, co-sleep or do this or try this method. But I needed someone who was certified in sleep to help walk me through what's my parenting philosophy. I am a gentle parent. I am a parent that didn't want to let my baby cry it out. And every family has a different way, and every parent has different needs. If you're a parent going back to work, And you don't have a choice. You do need to figure out a way to get sleep and get your baby sleeping. I have no qualms about that. But I knew what I wanted. And so going on those Facebook threads was like putting myself into a hole of depression every single day because of the comparison and the judgment. And it was dangerous for my mindset. And so, really, my own hopelessness, I created hope in the world by connecting parents to certified pediatric sleep, potty training, behavior, feeding experts. So we don't need to guess anymore. And that you can have objective expert help to get the help that you need, not the mom next door, not the person that has an easy job breastfeeding, not the person that has a husband around all the time. I didn't. My husband and I were building our first business. He had to go back to work in 4 days. I didn't have a village and I needed help. So I became the change I wanted to see in the world and created the Uber for mom help.
Ah, the Uber for mom help. That's great. We can sit in our pain, and you've had many opportunities throughout your life to be the victim, but you have continually made a choice to rise up out of that, find the resources you need, and then create the space for others so that they don't have to suffer.
Yeah.
So many moms are dying of overwhelm, decision fatigue, and to come along and say, "Oh, honey, you just need to find yourself a sleep coach." I had started a nonprofit for single moms back in 2008, and people would tell single moms what they needed all the time, but they had no capacity to find it or to vet. Tell us about I Help Moms and what makes it different from all the other advice out there.
Yeah, I love that question. The woman that I was 13 years ago is not who I am today. Well, that woman that you met was struggling with postpartum depression, and I was unhappy. I was not myself. I was not confident. I was hurt. I was physically hurting. I was mentally shamed because this was supposed to be easy. Everyone at church makes it look easy, right? I'm like dying inside. And so I really love I Help Moms because not only do I have a dedicated team member that vets herself every single coach that applies, we then go in every 30 days and say what coaches are on, what coaches are engaged, what coaches are active, what coaches are getting reviews. And if they're not, we get them off the site. That was my pet peeve on a large babysitting service that many of us use, is that I would need a babysitter and then they weren't live on the site. I'm like, I need a babysitter and they're not answering me. And so that was one of the important things with I Help Moms is that our coaches are engaged. They're active. They actively want to help moms. They're available to coach. So that's why we say I Help Moms is on-demand coaching, right? So they're going to be there for you when you need them.
So it's not just another mommy group or Facebook thread, but real on demand expert help. Let's unpack that for the mom that's listening. If a mom goes to ihelpmoms.com today, what can she expect?
So instead of talking to your neighbor about a tough time that you might be going on in your marriage or with your child or with yourself, and then them remembering that, and either maybe some of them hold it over your head, maybe some of them gossip about it, maybe some of them just love you. I myself went on a call on I Help Moms. I used the site and it was like getting the objective veteran advice from a certified expert that I needed to just help me know, like, yes, you can build an app, and yes, you can run Yes We Can conference, and yes, you can go to MomCon, and yes, you can raise 3 amazing kids, and yes, you can volunteer at church, and yes, you can run 5 businesses. I just need to sit with someone and be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Can you help me get clarity? And I got amazing clarity, and I'm having the most incredible day today. So I just love not only that you can count on that we have a dedicated team member that specifically all her job is to vet their credentials or qualifications. And we have another coach that's our head coach that interviews every single coach that comes on the platform. So we're doing calls before any of you even do calls to make sure that our coaches are on demand for you. And then add on top of that, my very favorite part is the objectivity. They're not your next door neighbor, and they're not your best friend, and they're not your mother, and they're not your father. It's someone that's a certified expert you can talk to, and you're done.
And you can book ongoing calls with
Yeah.
them as well. I noticed on your platform, it's not just the sleep and the postpartum, it is marriage, it is mental wellness. It's like the whole gamut for mom's well-being. I know we were laughing a little bit before the podcast started and you always hear this, "Where were you when I was raising kids?" Right? But I have grandkids now and I'm watching their moms. It is a different culture out there than
Yes.
what I raised my kids in.
Yeah.
Things are moving so fast, but the
Yeah.
resources that are available to parents now are are incredible. You're getting ready to launch a book that kind of addresses some of this. It's called Ambitious as a Mother for Moms Who Want It All. And you rattled off your all of the things that you are involved in, still looking very put together and beautiful, walking in confidence and clarity, needing a coach to help you get there sometimes. I would love to hear how you define having it all in a way that is joyful, because I feel that you're very joyful about all the things you're doing, but not pressured.
I love writing this book because it's like therapy for myself. And it's about all the lessons that I've learned along the way of creating multiple businesses, multiple babies, and having big dreams that I'm still living today and still want to accomplish today. And so I think the biggest thing that I've found through getting coaching on I Help Moms, through deep reflection, through going to church, and through just really praying about my purpose in life is we need to be confident in what we were designed to do. And so I'm a huge fan of Gallup Strength Finders, of Enneagram, of My Human Design, of DISC, whatever it is for you. I think we just have to get very focused authentically on what are our giftings and what are our talents and stop comparing ourselves to other people. Comparison is the thief of joy. And so when we get really comfortable and confident and authentic in what we were gifted with and move forward with purpose and passion, the world becomes a better place because we are secure. People want security in life. People want to see women walking with love and light. And you can only give that when you feel that love and light for yourself. And so that is my biggest piece of advice. And honestly, raising 3 little girls that are right now 10 and 12 and 8, I am running my tail off every day. So I never want to pretend that everything is perfect, which is why I'm writing the book. There are certain things that I have found in my own journey, and I can't wait to pay it forward and pass them on to being healthy, taking care of ourselves, our gut health, having happy homes, having happy marriages, making healthy meals. Like there's so much. It's just overwhelming. This really just breaks it down into bite-sized pizzas if you're a mom that wants it all. So that's really what Ambitious as a Mother will be. And that's my key for overcoming mom guilt is being your best and highest form of your authentic self and knowing your gifts and walking in confidence in that.
I remember almost feeling afraid to dream as a mom with 4 kids in the home because I am a visionary. If we talk Gallup strengths, which I use as a part of my coaching, I'm a high activator and I'm a high belief. And so I believe something, like if I have an idea, I believe it's going to happen and I'm going to go do it, right? And so as a mom, it was almost afraid to let go and be me because I was afraid I would lose sight of my role as gatekeeper in the home. I was afraid that it was okay to want it all and to go after it all. You are doing amazing things and you are leading a life that many moms may look at and say, "Oh, I could never do that." And so what would you say to that mom?
Uh, I think the whole key is prioritization, and it's really that easy. And if you can just focus on asking yourself every day, what do I really want? And I know for myself, when I asked myself that while I was breastfeeding and typing on a keyboard, building I Hope Mom's first generation, it never left my soul that I wanted I Hope Moms to succeed, to serve families. Never. No matter how hard it was, no matter how many times my baby had woken up at night, I had to keep I Help Moms going through all of it and then building other businesses on along with building I Help Moms. It never left me that I was put here to serve parents through ihelpmoms.com. It was just something that was burning inside of me all the time and it was unquenchable. And so for me, it was just a crystal clear priority. And it's interesting too. My husband and I own multiple chiropractic offices. And I remember, again, priority. I said, I will never allow us to lose our marriage in the gain of building business. That was a decision that we intentionally made that our marriage was going to matter more than the almighty dollar. And so, do we go on date night every week? No. For us, we found going on like quarterly getaways, planning something super fun, like a concert or a cruise with us. We fly my sister in from Oregon. We make it happen because that is what we look forward to. But that was an intentional prioritization that we made. Going to church every Sunday, non negotiable in our family. Quite frankly, this week I had one kid crying in the car. I had two kids poking each other in the front seats, but we're going to church. Like that's that, because that's what we do on Sundays. Then prioritization after that is family.
Mm.
Bottom line. Now, I don't like to cook. So I get meal delivery for my husband and I make a protein, a vegetable, and some type of like potato or pasta or something for the kids. And that's that. Having to cook every meal and like make it this big thing, not important to me right now. So I also want to be authentic and vulnerable that if I was trying to make a big meal like my mom made for me and get all the kids to golf and coding and tennis, and I would be laying in bed crying because I don't have the capacity to do all that. So I just always want to be authentic that I believe prioritization is the key to building the life you want. It's really as easy as that. So I just want to implore people again, comparison is the thief of joy. You have to get very confident and very comfortable with who you are, what you were put on this earth to do, and what you prioritize in your life. And everything will fall into place when you do those things.
Coaches help you do that,
Yeah.
right? They help you gain that
Yeah.
clarity, to gain that clarity on what is important so you can stay in that lane and live life more fully from that place. It sounds like it's been a journey for you to
Yeah.
get there.
I know you yourself as a coach and in everything
Mhm.
you do and Gallup Strength Finders. I think one of the biggest missing things that moms who have never gotten coaching with someone like yourself or gotten on a platform like I Help Moms to get feeding or potty training or breastfeeding help is they don't understand that on the other side of asking for help is this beautiful light, this beautiful peace, this beautiful joy, this beautiful protection that comes because you've taken the steps to take action. And faith without any action is dead.
Mm.
So I think it's so important to bring to light that once you get the help and you put the wheels in action, the peace you will feel will be so wonderful because you actually have an action plan. You have clarity, is the word that you use. So I just want to encourage all of the listeners make sure that you're really tapping into the resources that Amazing Misty has right here for you. Because on the other side of the vulnerability of asking for help lives the life you want to live.
It is so, so true. And the freedom to live that life and the confidence to live that life. As a mom still in the thick of parenting 3 amazing, beautiful young women, what is an area that you're challenged with
Yeah.
in life right now?
Yeah, I think there's two. So my oldest daughter is a very, very highly skilled golfer. She's 12 and made her high school varsity team. And so when I'm parenting then the 10 and the 8-year-old, I want to always watch and nurture their zone of genius. So that's one of the things that I am always working on and why I created the Creating Super Kids podcast for I Help Moms. And then you add on top of that that I have 3 girls, there's like a whole nother psychology that's on top of that. And I always want to make sure that I'm never comparing them, that I'm always honoring them and their gifts and their talents, tapping into their authentic joy and their authentic peace with whatever they're doing and then nurturing that and making sure that they know that I'm always supporting them. My daughter, if you know anything about golf, it's a lot of ups and downs. One hole, they'll be terrific, and then the next, it's like a triple bogey. And as a mom, you're like, just put yourself together and smile. You just have to be really stoic. It's super hard. And I typed into ChatGPT. I came home and I was trying to digest everything that I had felt because I'm like, oh my God, I paid for a babysitter for the day. And then she totally did not do great at this competition. And my husband's traveling and I'm feeling frustrated that we get her lessons. And like, she just didn't seem to appreciate the sacrifice that we made for this to happen. And then she do her best? And I'm like, I'm digesting all of this, not saying anything to her because I want to make sure that I put my best foot forward. And chat came back to me and said, "You're just there for the snacks and the applause." I'm like, true. It was like such a great comeback. And it just helped give me levity over the situation. And it said, Q-tip, quit taking it personally. And that's another key in raising these three girls that a lot of times I do struggle. And so I really have to coach myself a lot. And even in marriage is quit taking it so personal, get some levity over the situation and always ask yourself, what can I do better?
Mhm.
Thank you for learning. Be curious about how you can improve. And then say, thank you for this opportunity to learn and grow and let it go. And I read that the other day about marriage that's successful. They said they're quick to let it go.
That's
So
good.
that's another thing I've been working on is not taking it personally and not hanging on to things because I want a role model for my girls what
Uh-huh.
an amazing relationship looks like. And if we just keep being offended and humanity right now living offended all the time is doing nobody any good. So those are the things that I'm working on personally.
Always personal growth opportunities, and they're compounded by 3 for you right now. As we begin to bring things to a close, I know you have something exciting launching later this year or the first of next year. Can you give us just a little hint of what's coming?
I am so excited. We have the I Help Moms Plus app launching. So we are going to bring parents complete parenting plans in 60 seconds. This is revolutionary technology. We have proprietary technology on it built just for parents according to how you parent. What are your beliefs? How do you want to parent? How do you want to feel about parenting? And we are doing everything totally for free. That is how important it is for me to move families from chaos to connection.
Michelle, I always like to end with a question. You have spent the last hour with the beautiful mom who is where you were. If she can't remember anything because she's so exhausted, what is one thing that you would want her to remember from your conversation?
Go to ihopemoms.com when you're feeling overwhelmed, and we will be there to help you. But the second one would be love yourself and be gentle.
I am so excited again to have had this time to be with you today and to share what you're doing and your brilliance with the women that are listening from here. So keep doing what you're doing and changing the world and helping families connect and be lights in their world. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Missy. It's such a pleasure connecting with you. I've just loved the conversation.
Michelle, your story, your transparency, and your passion for moms is nothing less than inspiring. Friend, if you're listening and thinking, that's me, I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired, I'm stuck, this is your reminder. You don't have to do it alone. Michelle created I Help Moms to be the one-stop place to get vetted onto expert help. And just like Michelle said, coaching gives you clarity, confidence, and a plan so you can live the life you long for. And that's exactly what I do as a coach for Christian moms. If you've been feeling spiritually disconnected, overwhelmed, or even unsure of what your next step is, let's talk. Book your free clarity call with me. I'd love to help you rediscover your God-given identity and live powerfully, lead with purpose, and love with passion. Oh, and one last thing. Share this episode with another mom who needs hope today. Together, we can break the isolation and give each other permission to shine. Because, you know, Mom, when you shine, you give others permission to shine too.